And we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my fellow comic book collectors. My name is Chris. This is We Love Comics, and as usual, I want to thank you guys for watching this video, whether you're here about to watch it live with me or watching it hours, days, weeks, months, years later. Thank you so much for checking these out. I always enjoy doing these because we learn the grades together. For those of you who may be new, I submit 4 books a month to PGX. I have a deal with them. I do not get paid to do this. I always, full disclosure, I message CGC, CBCS, and PGX to see if I did a little advertisement for them. Can I get some books graded? PGX was the only one that allowed me to do this, so I'm very grateful for them. I made a deal for anybody that subscribed to my channel. If you're interested in using the grading service, obviously you don't have to, but if you do and send in 10 or more books and use the code We Love Comics Free Press, you can get one of your books pressed for free. Also, I have a deal that I made with them that they took my idea about if you want to add grader's notes to the back of your comics. Obviously, it's something you don't have to do, but many people do like it. It's a $5 charge per slab. If you want them done, just use the code We Love Comics Graders Notes, and you can get your Graders Notes on the back of your slabs, which I've always wanted and I love, and I have them do it in these books all the time. Sometimes they forget, or sometimes I forget to write it down, but I'm very excited for these. Now, I don't know the grades. I make a prediction a month before I send them out. Now, I have the books today, so there are 4 comics. I actually have 4 more coming on Wednesday. So the ones I believe these are the ones from 2 months ago, because obviously with the situations going on now, there are delays, but they're catching up. So PGX is still doing grading services, so check them out if you want. And don't forget, I posted the links to some of the comics that I'm selling on my website, and also to the cashback program. Please sign up for that if you haven't. It's free to do. If you spend $25 more within the first 90 days, you get an additional $10 cash back. And if you click on the link, sign up, and use it within that time period, I get a one-time referral fee, so that will definitely help me out since I've been out of work for over a month now. So, let me put on the video camera so you can see me. So, as usual, there's only 4 comics, and look at the size of the box that PGX ships these in. So, he always takes care of me, and I appreciate that. Now, I believe these are 4 books that I bought graded, or got graded years ago before I knew about pressings and had the old labels. So, I wanted to modernize them, get the newer labels, and some of these could benefit from pressings. So, I sent them in already in their slabs. They crack them open, so if you ever want to send your books in that maybe have an older label, or you believe you bought it and the person did not press them or dry clean them and you think that could benefit, they will crack them open and they will do all the work for you. So I sent those books in already slabbed, told them to press them, dry clean, do all that other stuff, and who knows, maybe the grades might be a little higher. You know, fingers crossed. Now, I don't know what the grades are, so we're going to learn them together. So they package this really well. They've been adding all this new material. So again, this huge box, and it's got that all around the books. It's got bubble wrap. It's got the packing peanuts. It's got another one of these underneath them. So they do an incredible job making sure your comics arrive safely. And I've been doing this now for over 2 years. And, you know, knock on wood, I have never had any of them arrive damaged. So you can see they package it really well. They got some green painter's tape on there for all the Irish people out there. So I'm going to make sure I do these upside down so I could not see them. So these 4 books, these are some of these are grail books, but they were in older slabs. Some of them could have been they give these as well. They could have benefited from a pressing, and we'll see if they raise the grades. Now, I didn't make a prediction on the grades for these because these were already graded. So they'll either stay the same, they'll go up, or you never know, they could go on down. Let's hope that doesn't happen, but we'll see. So I do this, I try and do it every month, but, you know, these days it's been a little bit slower. But like I said, I got another group of 4 coming on Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. And of course, I will give the prices and everything. So let me do this. So, and don't forget, guys, wait until the end to see who's today's surprise subscriber shout out. The way I do the surprise subscriber shout out is you have to be in the live chat, you have to be talking in the live chat, and a person who gets my attention will get the sorry about that, I was reading somebody's comment. Somebody will get that at the end, so surprise subscriber shout out. So let me say hello to a couple people that are here. Myth Lab Music, you are first. Hello. Pigpen 0969, welcome. I'll tell you, I love some of the names. Sam is here. Oh, sorry, it scrolls. Cue Ball, Andrew, Ricky, Back Issue Bin. First live show in a while, Cue Ball says. Well, I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you saw it. Ken Does Stuff, Manny the Comic Collector, always good to see you. Giuseppe is here, welcome. Douglas, Russ, Paul, Agu, and many more. Thank you so much for taking the time to comment, talk amongst yourselves. Andrew says, anybody notice Chris's door shut itself just a few seconds ago? Well, that was either my wife, my cats, or the house is haunted. I'll leave that for you to decide. David says hello. Frank is here. Jeshua. So let's get the show on the road. Okay. And it does have the graders notes, so I will show those. And like I said, that was my idea, because I called Daniel Patterson, the owner of PGX, and he got my recommendation. And I appreciate that. A company that actually listens to customers. So let's start. All right, so the first one. I have many of this book. You know that. This is Fantastic Four number 48. So this is the 4 books that were already graded. Now, when I bought this book, I bought it graded, I think like in either 2015 or, well, actually around 2016. I paid only $350 for this book. It was originally in the old PGX label of a 5.0. And let's see if a pressing and dry cleaning helped it at all. Okay, so it stayed the same. That's perfectly fine. I have no problems with that, because actually, did I get the... No, I didn't get it pressed. So, obviously, the pressing, it does look nicer anyway. It looks flatter. But still maintain the 5.0 off-white to white pages. So, I got the newer label. So, I'm very happy with that. You could see they put the graders notes on it. So, like I said, that's my idea, and they were nice enough to listen. So, I'll describe what they write. So, this way, it actually makes the... grading companies a little bit more responsible for what they grade the book as, because they're actually putting down what the problems are on the back. So there's no hiding, no guessing. So they wrote multiple stress lines along spine, cover, and edge wear, 1/4 inch corner crease front cover, several slight edge tears, 1/4 inch edge chip on back cover. So that definitely qualifies for a 5.0. Book looks great. Of course, this is Fantastic Four number 48. This is the first appearance of Silver Surfer and the first cameo of Galactus. Very happy with that. So it stayed the same. As long as it doesn't go down, I have no problem with that. So I got the newer label. Very happy. All right, next up. Let's get, and I'm trying to do this so I don't see them. All right, let me hold it this way, cover the grade. All right, so this is one of my giant size XMen. This was a book I got graded back in 2016. This is before I ever heard of pressings. So this book was not pressed. Of course, this is giant size XMen number 1. This was it came back at the time, a PGX 6.5. I only paid a total of $282 for this book. Definitely looking forward to it. All right, so this one went down. It's what happens. Sometimes you take the chance, and you know what? I'd rather him be honest. So it does have a little bit of a water stain on the back. So it went from a 6.5 to a 6.0. You win some, you lose some. I'm not going to complain. I mean, obviously, it's disappointing if it goes down, but hey, you know what? If one goes up, I'm very happy with it. So, still, first appearance of Storm, Colossus, Nightcrawler, Thunderbird, and second full appearance of Wolverine. I'm not going to complain, and sometimes you're going to have that happen. Alright, next up is a Golden Age book. This is my Captain America book. This was one I wanted in... no, I'm sorry, this is the Submariner. This is Submariner number 2. I bought this one already graded. It was in the older labels. This has an early Stan Lee story. This is from 1941. So let me see. Yes, so they did write Stan Lee story. So I absolutely love this book. I bought it a couple of years ago. What did I pay for it? I paid $975 for this book, which in my opinion is a steal. I mean, this is an Alex Schomburg cover. It was originally a 1.5. So there we go. It stayed the same. No problem with that. So they are consistent. Creamed off-white pages. Multiple stress lines along spine. Multiple creases. 2-inch spine split. 1.5-inch edge chip on front and back cover. 1-inch corner chip on front cover. So the back looks pretty darn good. I mean, especially for a book from 1941 and an early Submariner. I mean, Submariner #1 is his first appearance, I believe. So, I mean, for me, this was a steal for the price. And if he ever becomes, you know, if he's ever in a movie, forget it. The sky's the limit on that book. Alright, so far only one went down. Maybe the last one. It will go up. Because this is a book I definitely thought would benefit from a pressing. I bought this one already graded. So this is my highest Hulk 181. I paid $1,563 for this at the time. I bought it. It was already graded an 8.0. When I saw it, I knew it would benefit from a pressing. So if this one goes up, that will make up for the one that went down, absolutely. So, again, it was a PGX 8.0. It was already graded. I knew when I got it, it could benefit from a pressing. Let's see if that benefit helped. And there it is, 8.5. So that makes up for the loss. So I lost on one, but I gained on another. This book looks beautiful. And I'll show you the front. And the back is pure white. So this is off-white to white pages. It says several light stress lines along spine, minor edge wear, minor paper pull, back cover. So it did have the pull, but this pressing dramatically fixed that. Because there was not a spine roll, but a little bit of a pull. And I knew this would benefit from a pressing. And that's why I tell people, get your books pressed, because let me show you the difference. Now, obviously, I'm going to go to gocollect.com, and they base it on CGC, but I want you to see the difference between an 8.0 and an 8.5 of this book. So, let's see. So, an 8.0 of this book is currently going for $3,500. Now, remember, I paid $1,500 for this book, because I bought this a couple years ago. I buy things before. So an 8.5 as of now is $4,000. So this book went up $500 just by that half a point. Now it costs, depending on the grading service, it can cost anywhere from $25 to, you know, $100 depending on the book. But let's say this cost $100 to press. Well, that 0.5 move increased the value by $500. And that's before a Wolverine movie is announced. Now, there's rumors that there might be a Hulk vs. Wolverine movie. Now, that could be just wishful thinking, but just imagine if they do that movie. What do you think will happen to this book? I mean, this book is one of the books I highly recommend. Even if you get a 0.5, get this book. So I'm very happy about that. The only one that went up was the most valuable, in my opinion, and the most potential. So I'm very happy about that. And that's why I tell people, know what you're buying. Because there are times where you could buy a graded book and you say, wow, that grade does not warrant the grade that it has, or it could be improved because maybe somebody didn't know about pressings. The person that I bought this from didn't know pressings. Now, a 0.5 only goes up half a point, but like I said, that increases the value of over $500, and who knows how high it's going to go from there once the movies start coming out. So, I lost a 0.5 on the giant size X-Men #1. It went from a 6.5 to a 6.0. Hey, if that's more realistic of what the grade is, I'm perfectly fine with that. I would prefer it to be honest, so I'm not mad at all. But this absolutely made up for it. The other two were exactly the way they were, which is perfectly fine for me. I just wanted to get the newer labels. So we have Hulk 181, first full appearance of Wolverine. Absolutely iconic, classic cover. Went from an 8.0 to an 8.5. I paid $1,563 for what is now currently about a $4,000 book. We got Submariner #2, Golden Age, early Stan Lee story. I bought it as a 1.5, came back a 1.5, perfectly fine with that. Paid $975 for that book. This is the only one that went down. It was a giant size X-Men #1. I bought it, and it was a 6.5 when I got it graded. It lowered it to a 6.0, perfectly fine. And last but not least, Fantastic Four #48. Oh, and I paid for the giant size X-Men. I only paid $282. So I'm going to make profit on that book no matter what, because, you know, the X-Men are coming. But the last one was one I bought already graded at a 5.0. Came back a 5.0, perfectly fine with that. Paid $350 for this a couple years ago. This is also about an $1,100 book as of now. So I could say I did pretty darn good, and that's why it pays no matter who you go and get your books graded from. Get them pressed and dry cleaned, because it will help. What I would recommend is, one of the things I like about PGX is their grading services, their pressing services, their signature verification, their dry cleaning. It is all in-house. So they're not mailing it somewhere else. Because, you know, if something has to get repackaged and mailed, there's more likely a chance it could get damaged along the way. So always keep that in mind. Also, speed of return. So it took 2 months to get these back. Considering the situations that are going on, that's still fast in my book. I got the other ones coming on Wednesday. I'll have another 4 I'm going to be sending out in the next couple of days. So I'll have a video for that and do my predictions. So overall, I am ecstatic. So that, especially that Hulk 181. So 8.5, very happy with that. The pressing definitely increased it. So learn about what you're doing. Know about grades. Know about looking at somebody's book on eBay and saying, wow, that book looks like it's never been pressed or it's never been dry cleaned. You can get something for a steal. Remember, I've had books that where people, like the CGC Daredevil #1, it was a CGC 0.5. I said there is no way, and I showed that book before I sent it out, and no one said it was a 0.5, and it came back a 1.8. Now, it's not dramatically different, but that's about $500 difference. So I paid under a 0.5 at the time, and it came back a 1.8, which is more realistic, just because it had a little bit of a faded cover. Because like I've said, if you look up Daredevil #1 CGC 3.5 right now, you'll see one that has an extremely faded cover, and yet they CGC graded it a 3.5. So it is due to human, you know, error or human opinion. So things, you know, doesn't always guarantee somebody's always right or somebody's always wrong, because it goes to their own interpretation. So Joe says, should you crack and send the whole slabs? What I did was I sent them in slabs completely intact. So what I would recommend is have them crack them, but also keep in mind, you know, somebody may not be as delicate as you might. So that I leave it up to you. I trust them because they've always done a great job for me. They continue to do a great job. Like I said, 2 of the 4 was the same grade, which I believe they would have been because they already were pressed at the time, or they didn't look like they would be improved by a pressing. I just wanted the newer labels. 1 went down. That's perfectly fine. It could have been damaged in the process, or it could have been somebody just said this looks more like a 6.0. But the other one, because of the pressing, and I knew that one would benefit, it went up to an 8.5. And I was going to do that years ago, but so many people almost scared me into saying, well, that's an expensive book. Do you really want to take the chance? And here's the advice I will give to anybody. Don't be afraid to take chances. Don't live your life on fear. If you do that, that's what creates bad karma. At least that's what I believe. Whether you do or not, that's up to you. But as you could see, they all came back safe. I did better than I lost on the 1 grade. I did better on the other one. And with the price I paid for the giant size X-Men #1, I'm still going to make some good profit if I ever get to the point that I sell it. And that's another reason why I tell people, get multiple copies. I have about 5 copies of Hulk 181. I have about 5 or 6 copies of Fantastic Four 48. I have 5 or 6 copies of giant size X-Men #1. So I'm not saying it to brag. I'm saying is if you get extra copies, you can sell one and still own it. You can maybe, because you notice when I make my money, I'm not going on vacations. I'm not like buying fancy clothes. I'm putting it back into the comics so you guys can enjoy it as well. And what I've come to realize, and I think this might be my destiny, because you guys know if you've been following me for years, I was a massage therapist in New York, karaoke DJ, and now things are pointing to the fact that I might become a person that sells comics for a living. And what's one of the beautiful things about it? I get paid to do what I love, and it's also a tax write-off. So every comic book I buy, if I'm making a comic book business, becomes a tax write-off. So I get the amazing ability to buy comics, to display them and share them with all of you, to turn around and sell some of the duplicates for money so I can pay bills, or like I did here, buy this house to be able to move to Florida. And I get paid to do it because I love it. This is why I tell people, no matter what situations there are in the world, you are only limited to your thoughts and your ideas and your ability to follow up on, act on them. So I'm getting to the point where, I mean, I wasn't too happy with my massage business. I was getting very frustrated with my DJ business. This could be something I could do from my home. I could do something that I love. I can share it with all of you. And you see that when I do sell my comics, and like I said, I post the links so you could see them, or check the video I did 2 weeks ago of some comics that I am selling that aren't on that website. The money that I make, if it's not going towards bills, it's going back to buying more comics so I can keep giving you guys and girls the videos that you appreciate. So check out the link, share them. Let me do today's surprise subscriber shout out. Let me know what you thought about this. And like I said, no matter what grading company you decide to use, if you decide to slab your books, get them pressed, get them dry cleaned. It is so worth it. Unless it's something that's like a brand new book that's a 9.8. The chances of it becoming a 9.9 or a 10 is, I can't say impossible, but, I mean, unless you're a big business that's giving them lots of money, you're probably not going to. But hey, you never know. Alright, so today's surprise subscriber shout-out, we're going to go with Cue Ball. Since you said it's been a while since you've done one, and you actually paid attention. You did a lot of comments, and that caught my attention. So Cue Ball, you are today's surprise subscriber shout-out. I want to thank each and every one of you. I might be doing a video tomorrow, I don't know, but check back, hit the notification button if you haven't. And if you haven't seen a video, that means YouTube is doing a poor job of notifying people. So come back periodically to check. Check my playlist for tips, advice. Plenty of books that videos that I tell people what books to get, so check those out. Many of those books I've been telling people for 4 years now, and they're still going to be continuing to go up in value. So trust me, I know what I'm doing because I put the effort, I put the research in, and I want to share that with all of you. So give it a thumbs up if you appreciate that. Share it if you love it. Show me you're a power viewer by watching a video from beginning to end. If you are one of my power viewers, make sure you indicate that in the comments section. Let people know. Display that proudly. And if you're an ultra power viewer, that means every video you click on, you watch from beginning to end. Now, obviously, I can't check and can't verify, so we're going by the honor system. But hey, nothing gained or nothing lost by doing it other than being appreciated for your viewership. So that's my video. Wednesday, I will be getting my other 4 books. That's a really fast turnaround with those, so stay tuned for that. Again, I won't know what time. I'm actually surprised that FedEx came this early. I was expecting them to come like 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night, but that's great for me. So thanks for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and do not forget, check out PGX if you're interested. The link is in the description of this and every single video. And remember, if you use the code WeLoveComics Free Press, if you send 10 books or more, you can get one of them pressed absolutely free. And you can also, for $5 each, if you want the greatest notes on the back like I have, I love having them there. Just make sure you indicate that when you write in your slip. So that's it. Now I'm starting to slip. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of your my day. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And do not forget, it is not you, it is not I, it's We Love Comics. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you next video. Peace out.